Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a family of flood survivors living at a state park find a way to celebrate Christmas as they wait for the day they can return home. And a young boy from Knott County unwraps possibly the best Christmas present of all time for his entire family.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. Almost 5 o'clock here. It's Tuesday. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's head over to Brandon Robinson for a look at our forecast this morning. And Brandon, went outside this morning to start my car for a good, let it running for like 5 minutes because I woke up late. And I don't think it's that cold. I mean, it's all right. Yeah.
And not as cold as it has been. Guess what? The temperatures are going to go up. They're trending in the right direction. Yeah, absolutely. And we have no active weather to track until the weekend. So there you go. All right, let's take a look this morning. We have a few clouds out there, a few flurries left over, but those are gone at this point. So the clouds will hang around for a little while longer. But then temperatures already on the way up. 20s and 30s, no teens this morning. So 21 in Wise is, again, the cool spot. Now you're going to notice there's another airport sensor out this morning. Jacksboro is out. We're losing sensors left and right at these airports. I'm not sure what's going on. The National Weather Service has been notified. It's just all at the airports at this point. But again, you see, I'm taking all those boxes out there because again, it's just going to look like a bare map. I want you all to see that we're just waiting for these to come back online. 20s across a bunch of the rest of the region there. The coolest air in Southwest Virginia for sure, so closer to 30 already into parts of the rest of the region. A little extra on your coffee meter as you head out the door this morning, but otherwise not too bad. Clouds give way to sunshine, and guess what? We get above freezing today into the low 40s for daytime highs. Dakota?
Vernon, thank you. Well, following the July floods that rocked much of the region, many families were displaced from their homes. Nearly 5 months later, many of those families still have yet to return. Our Jordan Mullins has more from one family who's been staying at Jenny Wiley State Park since the flooding and how they celebrated the holidays.
The Caudle family of Wayland in Floyd County is one of many who are rebuilding their homes after the historic flooding in July. Pam Caudle, her 2 sons, her daughter-in-law, and 3 grandchildren have been staying in a small cabin at Jenny Wiley State Resort Park ever since.
The babies are just as well. You know, all of us has been through so much, and being outside our homes is a big, humongous adjustment.
The Caudles, despite the circumstances, still celebrated Christmas with a small dinner and plenty of gifts.
The babies had so many gifts, and they opened up all their presents all at once and didn't know what to play with first, of course.
Prior to the floods, Pam Caudle also lost her husband, Philip, but she continues to celebrate and remember his life throughout the holiday.
We're doing what Philip would have done if he'd have been here with us, and we'll just keep going, you know. That's our thing. That's all we can do. We don't have a choice. We have to keep going.
Spending time as a family, no matter the situation.
It wasn't at all about the presents. It's about the dinner and being together, picking on one another, and enjoying. You know, life is short, and we just try to enjoy each day that we can. And when we get together as a family, no matter where it is, it's always a good day.
And having a Merry Christmas. In Floyd County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, she says she hopes nobody forgets these flood victims and wants to thank those who have been so generous throughout the holidays. Well, 6-year-old Caleb White of Knott County, well, he loves Spider-Man. So when he opened presents on Christmas morning, he received some Spider-Man toys, but he also received something else on his Christmas list. After several months of living in a camper with his family following that flood that destroyed his home, on Christmas morning, he received a letter from Santa saying he would be getting a new home with his own Spider-Man themed bedroom. The 6-year-old says it was awesome receiving this gift and that he's excited to have more room to play with his toys.
Whenever I want to play with my toys, I could just put my arm down on the drawer and I can just open it and then get some toys out to play with.
Well, Caleb's parents say they were approved to receive the house from the Housing Development Alliance in November, and they've decided they wanted to share the news with Caleb in the most special way. The family plans to move into their new home this summer. And if you are starting to let your pets outside as the temperatures grow warmer, veterinarians say there are still precautions to take. Even if above freezing, the cold air can be hard on animals. Dr. William Hagan says it is also important that your pets have the ability to stay hydrated as their bodies fight to stay warm.
Yes, it's good to have proper shelter, but their water is also important. You would think that, yeah, it's water, it's going to freeze. So you need to make sure that they have fresh water put out. There's actually tubs that have heating mechanisms in the base of them to keep the water from freezing.
Dr. Hagan says if your pet is experiencing hypothermia or frostbite symptoms, take it to the vet immediately. And you probably just saw my sweet Winona right there. Well, as temperatures begin to increase later this week, so does the chance of a water pipe bursting. The Prestonsburg Fire Department posted on its Facebook page Sunday night for people to keep an eye on pipes that might have been frozen with very low temperatures during the Christmas weekend, warning that when they thaw, you could discover leaks. Firefighters say the best and easiest thing to do if you find out you have a leak is to know where your main water shutoff is so you can quickly stop it until you can call for help. And one way to help stop pipes from bursting is to keep them from freezing to begin with. Kentucky American Water offers several tips on how to do just that. Officials recommend making sure your interior thermostat is no lower than 55 degrees if you're going out of town. Make sure you keep a slow trickle of water flowing through faucets supplied by pipes that run through unheated or unprotected spaces. This will prevent water in pipes from freezing. And they also recommend, so they say if your pipes do freeze, shut off your water immediately using the main water shutoff. Thaw pipes with warm air using a hairdryer or a space heater, but do not leave your space heater unattended. And finally, be careful turning water back on once those pipes thaw. Slowly turn the water back on and check the pipes and joints for any cracks. And there's currently a boil water advisory for all of Martin County. The county's Water and Sanitation District said the advisory was issued because of a deep freeze. It's been issued as a precautionary measure, and there's currently no time estimate for when it will be lifted. Well, thank you so much for getting your Tuesday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, we'll take a look at the serious impact that the winter storm that blew across the U.S. took on a community up in New Jersey.
And the temperatures have been moving in the right direction for the past several days, but today they go above a mark they had been missing for a while, freezing. I'll have the latest in about 3 minutes.